Welcome to a brand new episode of the Real Life Podcast, a member of the Nation Network of podcasts and delivered by DoorDash.
Welcome to Real Life, everyone.
What is going on right now?
I think that I'm in love with Matthew Tkachuk.
Are you guys all drunk?
Old intro again? The look on your face is just everything I needed today.
Yeah, that was worth the price of admission.
I just don't get it because you guys know the intro's playing and you know it.
Yeah, but you normally mute the mics because
I don't sit by the board anymore.
I'm in control.
Well, and the show is progressively better, production-wise. See, I gotcha.
There he is.
We
There's
got
our guy. He's back.
Because now he's figured out which buttons do what. He's not just guessing anymore.
To interview Reid Schaefer earlier in the day and now have this. It's the highs and lows of your career, your M-Chuck, and they're within hours of each other.
Minutes.
Welcome to the worst part of your year.
So I interviewed Reid Schaefer last Friday. It was right after my live show, but it was the only time we could make it work. So I taped it Friday and then ran it on today's show on Monday. And me on Friday, I'm like, I'm going to be smart. I'm going to bring a change of clothes and then wear those same clothes on Monday. But then I accidentally said, I interviewed Reid Schaefer on Friday. Here's that interview. And then it just cuts to me wearing the exact same thing. So now people just think I wear the same clothes 4 days in a row.
Yeah, that's fine.
Big mistake.
How was he? He looked smiley.
The only thing that people really care about is that he approved the nickname Ginger Beef.
I can't believe you had the sack to ask him that. This
That was
is a
the first
highlight.
question.
This is a highlight for me. He seemed to be cool.
Tell me about it. I haven't had a chance to watch it yet.
Well, he's just smiley. Like he laughs, and every question I was like, so you might be playing on the fourth line, and he was just smiling. He's like, yeah, but I'm just gonna try my best.
I'm
and
just
like,
gonna smash everyone in sight.
I think it's pretty amazing because wasn't there he wasn't supposed to make this team?
No, he had more points this year than his entire junior career combined.
Yeah.
Since we knighted him Sir Ginger Beef. Mm-hmm. It's the octane of his career arc.
Yeah. Like I said that to him. That was one of the things we got into. Is I was like, man, like a year ago you weren't even on the radar to be in the first round, and then you are a first round pick. Then you're not even on Hockey Canada's radar in the summer, and then the winter tournament you make the team.
Motivation, late bloomer, the Ginger Beef.
And he said it's a testament to his hard work and the hours he spent in his garage working on his shot.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
You got to have that dryer wash machine you shoot pucks at.
I think a lot of it is the 19 messing with people too, right? Because they had that break. So there's guys that are like completely thrown off and maybe that worked through that time and got fitter or worked on their shot in the garage or some shit. They come flying out of the gates when the rubber meets the road on the other side, right?
Yeah, it was the ultimate kind of skills development time.
What else did he tell you?
We kind of just talked about the Hockey Canada tournament. If people want the full interview, it's up on our YouTube. I asked him,
Where's it again this year? Halifax?
Yeah, Halifax. And he was talking about how they're practicing in some small town that they have to drive 30 minutes to get to, and the place is packed for every practice.
The best.
I love that.
It feels like Maritimers really buy into the World Juniors when it's out there.
Great city for World Juniors. I would love to go to a game.
Also, you'll never beat the Edmonton World Juniors, though. Never.
The summer?
Oh, yeah. August
one,
no fans, just the way that God intended.
Still full price.
30 degrees out.
Oh,
just screams.
International
hockey.
games
It
on a
feels
soul.
so good to have it back on Boxing Day.
Oh,
I was going to say that.
Unbelievable.
Like, there are still issues with Hockey Canada and all of that.
Oh.
Not scraping those to the side by any means. But this year, with it being back around Christmas, it feels like, I'm going to get behind these kids again this year. It's going to feel good to cheer for, it's always said, it's usually...
Get behind these kids again.
Yeah.
Like, they didn't have anything to do with anything.
Oh, yeah, I know. But I'm saying,
So,
in the summer, I didn't give a
The
shit about that
reality of
tournament
me
at all.
for the summer is I just had
Okay.
other shit going on. I forgot about it.
Yeah, no, 100%.
Yeah.
I get so into Riverhawks baseball that like I can't.
I
focus
love
on
Riverhawks
anything.
games, and
I
that
do
is
too. I
legit.
can't focus.
Yeah,
Beer bats forever.
But anyways,
Yeah.
you're right, Chalmers. There's hype for this one, I think.
absolutely. It like
Connor
makes
Bedard?
the Christmas season.
Bedard. He's going to have 48 goals. Schaefer's going to have 9,000 hits.
This is hard.
This is the first Christmas season that feels like a real back to normal Christmas season.
Well, I
We
had
got-
COVID last Christmas, so I'm not going to
we.
celebrate in a basement this year, so
So
that's
did
nice.
Big win. Big win for you.
We got the World
Huge
Juniors
win.
back. We got all kids hockey tournaments are back.
There's 6 feet of snow outside.
There's 6 feet of
It
snow
is
outside.
snowing like a
minus
bitch.
90. Yeah. Christmas.
It's living.
Christmas in Alberta.
Your M-Chuck, help me frame my hopes and dreams for Reid at the World Juniors. What can we expect? What is too much to put on him for pressure? What is not enough pressure?
Let's start with what line? Third line?
At the World Jays?
Fourth?
Fourth line?
He's a fourth liner?
Third or fourth liner.
He said he's on the fourth line.
Okay.
In the interview. Or
But
do you want me to spoil the interview?
I didn't say that. I said you're skating in the bottom six.
So beefy
He said-
energy
he said
guy
he's
hitting
a-
people. That's what we're expecting from him.
He's an energy.
So if he
guy.
scores,
he's going to be
on.
aggressive on the forecheck. That's what Reid Schaefer said verbatim.
He's a big kid, right?
He's beefy.
I just want us to have one goal, just one World Junior goal. Reid, can he play again next year?
I think he'll have a big goal.
This is last
the fourth
game.
line,
This
third
might
and
be
fourth
his
line
last.
are always good for like a couple big goals. Couple
Akil
goals.
Thomas.
Play next year.
Who doesn't love a good World Junior Cinderella story of a player who's come out of left field to be awesome?
Oh, and he's just going to rock everyone.
They
The
need
Oilers
to do,
actually really need him right now.
they need to go back to late 90s, early 2000s, first shift of the tournament, go out and hit everything moving and just continuously, absolutely impose your will on these teams, because that's what separated like Canada from the other teams back in the day. That was what you could set your watch to it, that the first shift was going to be crazy fans going crazy, but then a big hit, another big hit, another big hit, and then we usually score because we're playing like
Exactly.
Switzerland or Germany.
Take
And we
that,
take it to them.
Burkina Faso.
Like
Maybe Reid Schaefer. So last time the World Juniors were in Halifax, that was the Jordan 2-2 year, and he just destroyed everyone. Can Reid Schaefer be this year's Halifax Canadian Jordan?
I think he should. I think he should try to be
New tutu?
new 2-2.
4-4?
New tutu?
I'm happy for him. It's cool.
Who, tutu?
No, Reid Schaefer.
Oh.
First of all, I
play
got to
next
talk
year?
to Tyler.
No, you can't. But when you Google Reid Schaefer, look what pops up.
Oh, Google
You
likes your
already?
interview.
Google likes the interview.
Interesting.
Good.
Working
Do
hard
you
on
think
that.
that was one of the highlights of Reid Schaefer's life talking to you?
Second time we've spoken, because I would have talked to him at the draft when he was telling me about how Wayne Gretzky was texting him, and then his favorite Oiler growing up was Taylor Hall, and I was like, yeah.
We are that
Different
old.
era.
Oh,
well,
man, Oilers.
He grew up in the decade of dark. Oh, yeah. You tell him this.
So
Yeah.
I was like, what's your favorite World Junior memory? And he was like, oh, the Akil Thomas goal. And I was like, oh, yeah. I was like, too young for the Eberle goal? And he was like, I don't remember it. And I was like, oh, my God.
What year was that?
I'm feeling old.
What year is that?
You're
8
gonna
or
start.
9.
Oh, yeah.
You're gonna start to feel like the old guy real soon now.
Yep.
Was any of you guys at the
Comparison
Oilers game that was happening at the same time as that goal?
No, I was watching that
When
game.
Jordan Eberle scored?
Yeah.
Yeah, and everybody was looking in the boxes?
Yeah.
I remember that.
Yeah.
The old arena.
Yeah. And then they played it over the scoreboard. Yeah.
Yeah, during the game.
Yeah. They stopped the game and they were like, "Okay, you guys all got to see this
For real. Here, watch this.
Yeah, straight up.
I thought it was a fight. I could see all these people standing up and looking backwards.
Yeah.
Fight. And then they was just watching the game.
People were talking about their, favorite World Junior memories and all of that. And the one that came up in the chat on my show today was when it was here in 2012. I shouldn't say here, in Calgary for the semis. And remember they were down like 6-1 to Russia and they almost came back.
Yes.
They scored like 4 goals in 3 minutes or something stupid like that. Then Mark Stone hit the post and then they lost by 1. That was a
That was
crazy
the Nail Yakupov year.
Yes, 2012.
He was the big gun.
Yeah.
Nail.
He didn't pretend he didn't speak English. People got real mad about it.
He pretended he didn't speak English when he did.
So I'm listening.
remember
I'm
that.
listening to the Zadorov interview on Spit and Chicklets right now, and he's saying like you should get Nail Yakupov on. He's fucking hilarious. He's such a good guy. That's what he was saying. He's like everyone's confused by him. He goes, I don't know what fucking Dubnyk was saying, which means he was listening to the DFO rundown.
Yes.
So that was very exciting. And then he also said and shared that in Russia you start hitting at like 6.
Oh, wow.
you know that Yakupov said, I don't like the goalie, right?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. So, like, Yakupov in Russia knew about the DFO.
Yeah,
show.
yeah.
That's gangster.
Yeah, that's really, really cool. But do you know what the one thing why you can't have like hitting until you're like 13? It's a size discrepancy at like 6. You could have a kid on the ice that's like,
That's why Zadorov liked it.
yeah, is that why? Because he's a big
He
boy.
Destroyed
6'2"
everyone,
when he was
destroyed
seven.
everyone since he was 7 or something, he said.
Have you seen that kid who's like 12 who got the football award in the States?
Oh my God, he had a mustache.
What is going on?
I don't
That
know.
kid's not 12, right?
No, he's 12.
I think it has to be a meme.
Like, it's
No, that was
we're getting
like
trolled.
legit.
Did you see where he did like the standoff with another kid on his team? And his kid in his team was like, he's 6. And this guy's like, hey, what's up, buddy? He was like a stash and drove to the game and shit.
Really?
I don't know that if he's 12.
That's not right.
You're Amtrak? You
That's
think he's
not
12?
Jeremiah Johnson, 12-year-old football player
seen
with,
this guy?
Is that the guy that's
tattoos.
sitting on the side
Here,
of the bed?
show
You
him
get
the photo.
sent
No,
to
he's
look at
like-
all the time?
Oh God. What?
Look at the side of the bench.
What?
I know what that is.
Look at that picture. No, it was on there.
that guy ain't 12.
That
What?
kid. That kid won the 12
Yeah.
From the New York Post, 12-year-old football player with tattoo, facial hair, sends social media into tailspin.
That kid
That
could
can't be
kick my
true.
fucking ass.
He has
He
a
would
tattoo?
kill me.
Tattoos, exactly.
That guy could beat the shit out of me.
How does he have a tattoo?
I was looking on like
This
hood.
kid is
He
huge.
looks like Master T.
Kind of does look
Yeah, kind of doesn't look like Master T.
I was
does he
looking
have
on Chalmers on World Star Hip Hop, the comments, and they're like, "How could this guy have tattoos?" This guy's like, "It's the hood, man. They'll tattoo a baby if he has the money."
What the hell?
Them tats aren't a 12-year-old.
He's huge.
You guys should pull up
Mustache is-
Darnell Dockett in high school.
Who that?
He used to play for the Arizona Cardinals, and he's just a big human being, and he just was so much bigger than everybody
Okay, here you
else.
go. His mom wrote on Facebook, before I lay down, I just want to know my baby going viral. These folks going in. So, yes, he's on the 12U. He meets all the requirements. No, the tattoo isn't real. Duh. Yes, the goatee is, though. So he just threw on a fake tattoo sleeve for the pic.
Who would do that?
Lots of people.
Jeremiah Johnson. Who probably ran for 875 yards and 6 touchdowns.
Yeah.
Can you imagine that kid? Like, you have a 12-year-old and he's playing football, and that kid's on the other team. Like, no.
What do you do?
Stay away from him would be my...
You gotta check Google Schwarzenegger 18-year-old locker room. There's a photo. You ever seen this photo?
Oh, yeah, with him with another
His
18-year-old
classmate?
kid, a classmate.
Yeah. And he's just like beyond
I'm
jacked.
not sure why he's just in a towel.
That's how it was in Austria. Everybody
was
wore
different.
towels.
Yeah.
What you do?
Don't wear clothes.
Quick
in Austria.
schwitz.
If you were in a class with Schwarzenegger and he looked like that,
Oh my
you want a
God.
photo of him in a
Let's see.
towel?
Oh my god.
Yeah. Those are two 18-year-olds again.
No way.
Yes.
It's very grainy, but yeah, that's alarming.
Wow.
There you go, Charles.
Oh, yeah, I saw it.
What up, blood?
Kid's head is as big as Schwarzenegger's pecs.
See, dude. Yeah, there it is. Those are both 18-year-olds. They look like different species.
That is amazing.
You're gonna have to post that.
One was on roids.
This looks like he evolved as a Pokemon. He's like that big rock
Yeah.
guy.
His story's so crazy. He's just like, I saw a bodybuilder magazine and I decided. And then he just started lifting pieces of wood and became Schwarzenegger in like the forest.
That is insane.
You're up, Chuck?
Yep.
Where in the pantheon of sports weekends does this last weekend rank for you?
Big Sunday. Well, big
Saturday.
I know.
Saturday was great, too.
Waz asked if he could come on
Except
and
for
talk
the
about
2
World Cup.
p.m.
Is he sitting there?
Time slot.
2 p.m. time slot.
2 p.m. time slot on Saturday was fucking horrendous.
Oh, Browns, Ravens.
Oilers, Ducks.
Oilers,
And
Ducks,
Browns,
yeah.
Ravens for you.
And
That was
Browns,
tough.
Ravens.
Browns won.
Oh, yeah, they did.
Yeah,
Never
but
mind.
Jeez.
yeah, but it was a boring game.
Well, what did you expect?
Yeah, the 2 p.m. window for the Oilers
So-
is not great.
World Cup, insane. That is, like, to put it into hockey terms, that would be Crosby, McDavid, head-to-head Game 7 Stanley Cup
And
final, I guess.
absolutely
'cause it can't be
performing.
Olympics. And, yeah, like, dueling hat trick. It's crazy.
They changed the Golden Boot award winning during the game like 3 times.
Yeah.
Like Messi went up.
Oh, yeah.
He's
Whoever-
now the Golden Boot winner.
Yeah.
Then Mbappe does what he does like crazy. Mbappe still took it back,
Yeah.
but like I love the tweet where it's like, as an Argentina fan ever since December 12th, 2022, I'll say this is the best moment of my life.
That
It's
might
like-
that might go down as like one of the best sporting events ever.
they on the thing. There was a lot of hyperbole being spoken on the telecast by
I
the
love
guys.
soccer
They were saying
broadcasts
that
over
this
that.
was
They're
the
like,
best.
He will live forever, the pantheon of
The
gods.
destiny.
Oh my God. They were saying this was the best #1 soccer game of all time by far. And then they were saying that Messi had taken over, that was now ahead of guys like Gretzky, Muhammad Ali, Tiger Woods in the greatest sports figures of all time. And I was like,
sports figure,
okay,
maybe.
My favorite joke.
he's my height.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
he's
he's a
fucking.
small-
I'm just
a weapon.
saying, he's my height. Like that's,
My favorite joke that came
both
out on
giants.
Twitter was just like, if that was the first soccer game you've ever watched, just don't watch
don't
another one.
watch anymore.
Yep.
It's amazing if you're a fan of Paris Saint-Germain that on Monday morning, both of them report to work for your team. You're just like, well, everything's worked out great.
Yeah, we're doing all
But
right.
like you could, like you have what they say is the best to ever do it by Diego Maradona. But then like the best to do it right now, a 23-year-old kid who also looks like Jeremiah. He looks a little older than 20. I'm not telling you, but for them to go
kicks
like
the ball,
head to
it
head
is-
and absolutely like fucking 5 goals between the two of them.
Like,
That's incredible.
It's a team game, and each team has its like go-to guy, and both go-to guys like just like rose to a crazy level in the World Cup final. Like you couldn't paint a better
You couldn't.
story. It'd be like Gretzky Lemieux Stanley Cup final. They both got 7
The
points.
save by the Argentine goalie at like the 118 mark.
Penalty kick they awarded for that guy like flinching on the shot and getting
that's
hit in the
okay,
elbow.
but that's like,
that's just
I'm
the
okay.
drama.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Like there couldn't be a bigger call than that.
Oh
shit.
yeah.
But the dude went to go block it. What are you supposed to do? Put your hands like behind your body?
They like tuck it behind their butt. Fucking cords.
So that's like a legit thing, right? Like, because I was like, man, like that's really hard to not. If it hits you, okay.
And I like on the just before that when Messi scored what was then the go-ahead goal. Like if the France defender wasn't thick with 3 C's, that probably would have been offside.
I think it was
I
offside.
saw that too.
The laser tracking they have on those guys when they made all the players disappear and then what in the fuck? They plug those balls in, hey?
And the NHL has a grainy camera ingrained in the blue line. They're like, listen, it might be offside. We have no fucking
we're not
clue.
sure.
We
Check
don't
it
even
out
know
on
what
this
offside
iPad,
is.
but it's a first gen one.
Yeah. But
Do not update it, or the app won't work anymore.
If you stopped fans on the way out of that game and you said to them, no booze at this game, did it ruin the time for you?
No.
They would be hard pressed to tell you, even though they weren't allowed to drink, they still didn't have a good time. Especially seeing that game.
Especially
It
with-
was just so much back and forth, like because sometimes like soccer, like 1-0, 2-1 in a 90-minute game, like, and it's just a lot of
2-0 Argentina should have been game, set, match.
Yeah.
That's what I was going to say is every layer that was added to that onion was like better because it's 2-0 Argentina and you're like scripted beautifully. Messi gets his moment.
Well,
and then
no,
they
but,
come
like,
back and it's
while
like, whoa.
But while they were doing it, it's like there's an illness going through like the France lineup right now. Like everyone's
In
sick.
real time.
And, like,
But-
but that's what they're saying. Then all of a sudden France scores and like that narrative stopped.
You see the Argentines in their dugout, and when they score the second goal, and it's like some of them are crying. It's like Messi's bending over. He's like, "Is this really how this is going to happen?" And then miraculously, in like 6 minutes, he scores another goal, and you got to be thinking, "Okay, that's it. That is it. I have won this thing." And it wasn't like that's how fucking crazy it was. Back and forth.
Well,
My
did
God,
you not
it was
notice
good.
when they scored the tying goal? They went to Messi and he was laughing.
When they scored the third and tying goal?
No.
Like when France tied it for the last time?
Was it then or when they scored this? I don't
remember.
I 2-2. I thought they went to Messi and he was like laughing. Like
I thought,
okay, I gotta fucking take it one notch further here.
I thought with the amount of composure that he had, like with the amount of pressure that he had, he showed unreal. To kick his penalty kick like that, everybody tries to rip it, and he cheeky puts it up the middle.
You should rip it. That's the problem.
You should rip it.
Normally they don't. Mbappe tries to put it through the net. Like
But the nuts on him to do that.
Dink a little slow one in there.
God.
Your last ever
But, like,
World Cup moment. Yeah, and you're
you
like,
know, you've won everything. I know it's the biggest moment of his life because that's the only trophy he doesn't have. But like, it's because he be that calm in that situation is ultimately makes Leon
So
Messi.
I'm
My
often-
favorite thing about penalties in soccer is that the strategy in net is just to guess.
Guess.
But my favorite one
Dive
is when the
hard.
guy goes straight forward and the guy dives either way
Yeah.
and he's
Way,
looking
yeah.
back at it as he's
That's
falling.
it.
So
Hilarious.
two things that I witnessed, but that I felt during the penalty kicks is they had the camera in a really cool spot right behind, which they normally do, but it seemed
Camera
different.
angles they had are insane. Like
Yeah.
the overhead drone
It's-
shots it looked like and
You
shit.
think penalty kicks are just man, it's a given, but that's actually pretty far. Like it's actually
it's a
pretty far.
decent pace.
It's a decent
or
size.
pace. Just
When the goalie goes into penalty kicks, does he think about like, okay, I've got to now 5 times jump and land on my hip? Like essentially land directly on my hip. If I told you right now that you had to jump
he's 80,
5
yeah, so
times
they're like, oh my
to
God,
the
my
side
hip
and land
hurts
on your
'cause of all
hip,
this
you'd be
jumping.
like,
The term's
this
spongy,
fucking
bruh.
sucks.
do you have hip problems right now? Is that why?
Spongy turtle,
Your
bro.
hips kind of hurt.
A
Is
little
that why you're
bit.
thinking
What
about
happens
hips
if they
on the
found
mind?
out that his right hit? He's just like, I'm not
When
going
an
right. My
NHL
right hip
player,
hurts because I
Chalmers.
just went right. I'm going left this
And
time.
that's the game notes on that.
When
goalie.
an NHL player in a preseason game blocks a shot on the PK,
Yeah.
you a moron for doing that.
But
given
also,
how risky it
I got
is?
pads.
there is something to, as someone who played rec league soccer for the first time this year and played keeper. Thank you.
qualified. Continue.
It's like a huge mental block. Like I can't do it to like leap and be like, well, I'm just gonna like land on myself
Just
really hard.
landing on my whole side.
The
Can't do
thing
it.
I'm more concerned about is like they put their hands out like not like this. They take it in the face a lot. Like he took that one in the face.
He took the one in the face.
Yeah.
It was a huge save.
I still think blocking a puck's crazier.
Dude, those
the
balls
wrist-
are hard and they're moving quick.
Yeah,
But that's
but
the
a
thing
puck?
too. Like, I was
He has so much gear on.
like in a non-padded area.
You're going down like this.
Yeah,
and you're
yeah,
blocking
When he
Blocking
kicks
shot.
a ball and it goes off his hand and you can see his hand bend back and the force of the ball still goes in, that's pretty fucking hard.
I just
I'm not
imagine
saying
all those
really,
guys
really
are cruising
hard.
around with headaches because of the heading the ball and it's skied way up there and they're all jumping for it. I just imagine
Did
everybody.
you
were
see that
showing the
France guy missed that header by about an inch?
Yes.
Yeah.
And it could have been like the game-winning.
Yeah.
When they
one
showed
they hit
the
post.
footage of like the D doing a cross.
Yeah.
So, like the camera's up behind them and you see how far they can kick the ball. It is.
Well, that's how they scored that one
unbelievable
goal
how
around him. Like
And
that
like
was
effortlessly. Like
I gotta say that like it always happens in big events, like when you watch like a soccer game like this. But like when I finished that game, I was like, man, soccer is really fucking cool. It's gonna go away for 4 years, and it'll come
there's
back
actually
again.
leagues
But
that
like
play
I was sitting there
There's
like
a league you can watch.
there was
Yeah, they
so
still play Chalmers. the
many
whole time.
nuanced things.
You can watch
that
it.
happen.
He plays all year round.
Yeah, for who? Where?
Paris Saint Germain
I
with
don't
Messi.
get that. I don't even.
With
I don't get that
Messi.
channel.
Son, that's not a
Messi's
channel.
going to Miami
Yeah,
soon.
into Miami.
Yeah, I think he still has one more year.
Yeah.
So I've been told that I can be a bit of a Debbie Downer on some situations because I bring up something that people might not. But you know what bugs me about Argentina winning?
Oh, God. I can't wait.
The fact that there was 6 different groups of players celebrating in like 2 or 3 guys each.
Oh,
Celebrate with your team.
Is that an
What are you doing?
Argentina thing?
What are you doing? What? And number 2, when you're the guy sitting on the bench with the fluorescent green penny that shows you didn't play in the game, take it off. Take it off. Put your jersey on. Like, you're part of the team. Wouldn't you want to run out there and
I like
not
when
be
those
in the-
guys run all the way across the field and jump into the goal celebrations.
what about when
Yeah.
the King of Qatar put that kimono on Messi? And he was like, "I don't want this," and they're like, "Too bad, you're in Qatar."
Like,
Also, Salt Bay disrespected
why
by Messi
wouldn't
as
you
well
want
after
to
the game.
go and run and be with your whole team and celebrate with your whole team?
It's such an Argentina thing. You're right.
No, not Argentina.
I've got two
that's like
friends
you
on
no,
the team. That's
not
what
the.
I think.
Oh yeah, okay, that wasn't what I meant. The problem with when they won was that they went into groups of like 2 or 3 people.
Then they eat giant things of meat on swords.
And like the one
Well-
guy who like played like 7 minutes is laying down with his jersey over his face, like crying, and there's one other person tapping him on the belly. It's like that, that guy just wants to be over with Messi.
Well, on the Messi thing, did they go in like quarterfinals, semifinals? They went penalty kicks against Netherlands. Was it Netherlands? Anyways, they went penalty kicks against something along their way, Argentina, and the goalie like stood on his head and made a couple saves, so they won the penalty kick. So the whole team like got together, but the goalie like fell to the ground because he was so blown away. Messi was the only one to run to him
Oh, okay.
and celebrate with
Yeah.
him while the other pack happened.
Yep, I have a photo of it.
Excuse me. That was a long like moment from when they won to like the moment when they got the trophies.
Oh, they draw
They really
it right out.
milked that coverage.
And then the minute, because if you're watching it on TSN or whatever, the minute like you got
The goal-
Messi holding it up, you got one bounce in, and then they cut it right to the football game because the football game was
Yeah,
already.
they're like, okay,
I was like, what the
he's
hell
like-
just happened?
It's amazing how there's so few commercials in those broadcasts too. It's a nice.
Why is
change
that?
of
Did they just
pace.
not
Well,
have
because
time
it's
for it?
straight
Because
play.
it's
It's
straight play.
straight play.
Yeah, yeah.
You can only get
like,
ads in
it
between.
seemed as though like in between
It's the boards.
game ending and the overtime.
There was also one point with like 2 minutes left in like the extra time where the play was down in the corner, and there were so many players from like Argentina just like fucking around in that corner with their green pennies. I was like, it's chaos over there.
he's like yelling at
They're
him.
like they're like all doing different shit, and there's still like soccer being played like 2 feet from them. And I was like, what is going on? Go to your bench. What are you guys doing?
Classic Argentina.
Soccer's a game. I'm not shitting on Argentina. Don't try to frame this. Don't fucking twist it, JR. Except they should have been celebrating together.
Did you see when
Selfish.
I tagged
Frauds.
you in that thing?
Frauds.
Chalmers? That Team Canada photo I tagged you making history
Which one?
on Insta.
What?
There's a photo of like.
God.
on
Oh,
World Cup
yeah,
final
yeah,
day.
yeah.
Thanks for playing along, Chalmers.
I did.
really, You did not. You just.
I liked it.
You didn't do shit.
I'm pretty sure I liked it.
They were still congratulating Team Canada on World Cup final day, and I was like, I'd like to see this. Old making history Chalmers over there.
There was a good tweet, you referenced this, from Jack Hown, who went viral with it. Hockey announcer. He scores. The Colorado Avalanche have won the Stanley Cup. Soccer announcer. The little troop of elves dismantled the loom of fate. Argentina have slain God himself, and they bathe in his blood. And that was pretty much what those announcers sounded like. Bathe in his blood.
It's amazing though when you see something like the Olympics. I think are the same, where it's just so epic that you don't even need to know who everybody is.
Nope.
And you just get a feeling that
You're
it's
caught
just
into it.
such an epic situation to be caught up in.
It was fun.
The
It's a
King
good
of
weekend.
Qatar, whoever that guy was, Sultan of Qatar, Sheikh of Qatar?
I don't know.
The head of Qatar. He looked as though he's like, I don't care how much these things cost. This is worth every penny. He's just shaking everybody's hand and shit. Yeah.
So
times.
continuing to move on to things that happened this weekend that definitely weren't the Oilers losing to the Anaheim Ducks. The football, biggest comeback ever in NFL history with the Vikings.
Same quarterback to be on the losing end of both the biggest deficit and the second biggest deficit.
Damn, that sucks.
That's
Who's the
bad.
quarterback? Doug Flutie?
Matt Ryan.
All right. So there was that. But what was even more stunning, did you guys see how the Patriots lost their game to the Raiders?
God. What was he thinking?
What happened? I don't know.
Someone was on the take.
Tie game, 24-24, no time on the clock. So it's the last play. If the Patriots just kneel, this thing is going to overtime. But they run a play, complete the play, and then they try the lateral backwards. The first one works, and then the guy gets it and goes, I'm going to go like 20 yards across the field for the next lateral.
To my quarterback. Who then can't throw it.
Yeah.
He has to run it. Why would you put your quarterback in that position? Number one.
But why would you put Jacoby Myers in that situation? You forced him to like think he's got a lateral.
One quick thing.
Just kneel.
Wanye,
like what are you trying to do there?
The lateral, last play of the
dumb.
game.
It was dumb.
Lateral play like that is usually done when you're
losing.
down.
Yes.
And you have no other option.
Yes.
These guys were tied. And they were 35 yards away from scoring.
Yeah.
It would have taken a lot to get that there.
Wanted to see me quasi-impress Chalmers? Mm-hmm. Maybe Belichick isn't the coach everyone thought he was. In fact, it was Tom Brady. I understand football.
But here's the best. Here's the best part. So the guy throws it back to the quarterback. The quarterback is like, "What the?" It does not even close to him. It goes right to a guy named Chandler Jones, who is like a Patriots alumni, Patriots hero, and he now plays for the Raiders. He catches it, and about 5 feet in front of him, Mac Jones, quarterback. Mac Jones is like a deer in headlights, and he just gives him this stiff arm and just pushes him down like a baby, and then
Raiders touchdown, Raiders win.
And then Raiders touchdown, Raiders win.
Yeah.
It's a baby.
It was awesome. That's like a meme.
Where was the game?
That's definitely going to be a me coffee meme.
In Vegas.
It was awesome.
I couldn't believe that.
It was mind blowing.
And at the same time, no, not at the same time. At the same time, there was like other crazy things happening.
The Raiders game was insane.
Well, that was the Raiders game.
Oh, shit.
You mean the Chargers? I think the Chargers game you're thinking
sorry.
about.
The TD, they had to make that TD to tie it.
Yeah.
Which was insane. Anyways, yeah, fuck me.
But the Bills game was pretty fun. That was a good game.
Yeah, that was all right.
They were cleaning. Are they allowed to clean that snow? Do you remember the last snow game where it was at home and they were like, they got the guy with the brush to come out and actually brush the spot, and it was totally illegal. Like, they shouldn't have been allowed to do that.
And then there was the game earlier this year when it was raining. I think it was the Bears kicker. The Bears holder pulled his towel out and dried the ground with his towel and put it back in, and they flagged him for it.
Yeah. I couldn't believe they were letting him wipe it away. I thought that was like legal.
But I think it might have been something like it was before the timeout was called. So like
it was during play. It's just
they're doing their thing, you know?
There was a Commanders ending when that bullshit penalty got called and Buddy Robinson got his TD tonight.
Ryan Robinson, yeah.
Buddy Robinson. Buddy's my buddy.
Your Buddy Robinson,
Buddy Robinson.
That
cost me a fantasy league.
I've never, ever seen two teams play that both had the record of 7-5-1.
Yeah, that was weird.
That had to have been a first. But that was good. I mean, it was a great football weekend. There was a lot. They were showing highlights, and it was just like, and then this, you think you can't believe that? Like, watch this. And it was just cool shit. I love that.
All right, we are going to talk hockey in just a second, but first got to give some love to Oodle Noodle and DoorDash. Oodle Noodle, maybe they want to hit up Reid Schaefer? Now that he's approved the ginger beef nickname, you know?
We could insist he come on the podcast and kick it off.
Yeah, it's
$20,000 to talk to Reid Schaefer. Worth it.
And our friends at DoorDash, promo code GameDay25 gets you 25% off and no delivery fees on your first order of $15 or more when you download the DoorDash app. Ding dong. We'll be right back. We also have to give some love to Tourism Jasper, where we are going to be going in 40 days, 40-ish days.
Have you been given the details?
No.
Okay, you're going to be getting them soon. We're just confirming them. But we are going to do the pod
is
hockey.
happening,
Chalmers?
and Frank is coming, and are you in?
We've got it confirmed. Would you like to be on our team?
When is it again?
Last weekend of January, like 28th or whatever.
Yes.
All right.
Here's what we do, Jay.
I always just say yes and then figure out if I can do it or not.
Bail.
We go on Reid Schaefer's most recent Instagram post, and we put in the comments, are you looking for 20 grand? Money emoji, hit me up in the DMs.
I'm paying off debts for the next 5 people.
Please reply with ginger beef.
Exactly.
So we got the four of us on the team, right? BM, you're in.
Yes.
And then we got Frank
And then Frank. And then we have Curtis
from Shirt Forward,
Shirt
who was
Forward.
great on our team last time.
Great on our team last
And
time.
there you go. That's our crew.
That's our crew.
And everyone has shin pads.
I'm going full equipment.
You're going full equipment? Well, maybe just
I'm
go in the
going a step
non-hard
further.
division.
I'm wearing goalie gear,
Yeah.
and I'm just going to skate around in that.
No passes getting through the center of the ice at all. I'm laying in front of everything.
I can't wait. That is a fun time.
Yeah, so we're working on all the event stuff because we're going to be doing a hot stove again. We're going to do a watch party again because there's an Oiler game on the Saturday. So JPL is going to do the same thing as always. Just roll out the red carpet for everyone in attendance.
That was a
It's
good
gonna be
damn
a-
time at the watch party last time too. That was a lot of
That
fun.
was actually
That was Evander Kane's debut.
that was like a highlight of COVID because like it was still like COVID protocols and we were
Somebody got a hat trick, didn't they?
we're keeping it COVID friendly because we're in this big banquet hall and like we still were able to put on like a really good event. It was
I
very
couldn't
fun.
No, you
tell
guys
you
were
what
just giving
happened
away
in
a
the
ton
Oilers.
of hot hats that
Yeah, I
day.
couldn't
but
tell you
everyone's
what
happy.
happened with the Oilers game. I could tell you that Chalmers was giving it to his kid about quitting the planking contest.
I wasn't
It's a
giving it
strength.
to him. I was begging him to quit because he was getting really shaky and red, but he has no quit in him.
You are not Earl Woods.
I learned that today.
Did you see Charlie and
Or that
Tiger
day.
playing? You see all the back and forth between them? It's so cute.
They are just the same person.
Last year he was cute. He has entered his not cute year. He looks like he fucking gained 60 pounds of muscle.
He's out there to
he's-
smash balls now.
He's so
jacked.
cute before. Now he's like, man.
He's jacked.
Do you think he's going to play in the PGA? Probably.
Oh,
No way he
He's like
doesn't.
brawny. Really?
He'll get there just based on name alone, right?
To
I know
the
you
PGA?
eventually. I know eventually you have to win, but like
But he's not going to win on the PGA.
But
right
he'll
this
get
moment, but
every
he's winning
opportunity.
junior tournaments.
No, but he'll get every
He'll
opportunity
give
to
him
play, and that's how you need to do because if
Oh,
some
sponsor
guys that could have
exemptions.
maybe make it can't afford to go through like the rigors of that a couple years in the dumps,
The
right?
amount of effort PGA's put behind him already for marketing is so preposterous. They need him to do it.
that's what I'm saying. Like he'll make it there.
He's got the
Again,
best
like,
of everything,
Imagine
man.
Charlie
Best coaches.
Woods shit kicks John Daly Jr. in like the 2032
God, would that be a
Masters.
good? I can't go on Instagram these days without seeing John Daly doing something.
John Daly
He is.
Jr. or senior?
Senior, he's all over the place.
He is. Well,
He just,
he's just
he's on a
being-
tour.
Well, because like the accounts you follow kind of like promote like
John
The fun
Daly,
side of
fun
golf.
lifestyle.
Yeah.
They just like he's the goat.
Yeah.
He like just jumped into a pond. The last video I saw at a tournament, he's like he plays in these events where people probably pay big money to play with him, and he just like gets drunk with them, smoking,
Yeah,
ripping
fills
darts,
them up with one-liners.
and then just like jumps in a pond, and like all the other guys are like, "Oh shit!"
I
Let's
was
my
like when he
favorite
golfs with
photos-
no shoes on.
he
always
golfs with
makes
no
me
shoes
laugh.
on. Yeah, it's the best.
The photo of him, John Daly Jr. and the Hooters executives, where John Daly Jr. is announcing on Instagram that, like, after my father's relationship with Hooters, I couldn't be more thrilled to pick up where he left off. Like,
Your father's
bless
relationship was that he was their best customer ever.
they
There
paid
was-
him so much money.
There was a John Daly story that was on a podcast or something, and they're at a tournament, and I think it's maybe after the first round or something, or maybe after the second round. Daly's in the bar just holding court, getting after it, and he sees Tiger Woods heading out to the range. And he's like, Tiger, come join us for a drink. No, I gotta hit balls. And then when he's done hitting balls, Tiger's like getting changed into his gym gear. Tiger, come have a drink. No, I gotta work out. And he's like, Tiger, what the hell are you doing? Like, we're playing tomorrow. Blah, blah. He's like, John, if I had your talent, I'd be sitting right beside you. But I've got to go and do this.
Oh yeah,
Really?
he's known as like the most talented, like purely talented golfer that ever existed.
That,
It's like stories
wow.
like Phil Kessel when he's out of shape and then he'll just roast people on the leg press or whatever.
Yeah.
I
beat
think
him in
it's
a race.
amazing that Tiger Woods has come back like enormously humbled and is like as happy as he is. Have you seen it when he saw Annika Sorenstam? Did you
Oh,
see
it's
that
so
footage?
good to see her. Like, 13-year-old, I used to have the biggest crush on her.
But just Tiger seems like he's loosened up now.
Yeah,
Like
oh,
he's
yeah.
like had such crazy shit happen to him that like this need to be invincible all the time. He's putting less pressure on himself.
I
It's
really
nice to
wish
see.
she didn't get in that car accident. That really, like, there was probably another major in him.
Probably.
Imagine though that like he's still got one more 4-day run in him where he'll will it all back together. Imagine the
It'll be
storyline.
52
Yeah, with
winning the British Open.
Charlie's teeing off in the Masters for the first time and Tiger wins it.
Yeah, and Charlie's second.
Oh, they're both wearing red.
And
He
Charlie's
murders his own son in the final round.
now Charlie's like a stroke up on him and just lips one wide on purpose. And gives his
No,
dad a
Tiger,
look.
says,
Tiger,
"That's
would
for
have-
Earl."
Tiger then would take a putter and smash it over his head.
I saw an
How
interview with
dare
him.
you give in?
They said, "Do you get in Charlie's head like Earl did to you?" And he's like, "Yep." And he just like lays it out. If I can get into his head, anyone can. If I can't get into his head, no one can.
I did say we talked some hockey because we're at like the 35-minute mark.
Or
of this
tap
podcast.
dance around. Yeah, we're trying to forget about the
I know,
2
but
p.m.
so we
time
won't
slot on Saturday.
We don't need to talk about that. How about Stuart Skinner? Good local guy.
Oh, God, we should talk about it.
Good for him.
3-year deal.
You're the goalie of your hometown. You're getting that cheddar. Good on you.
Soon to be dad.
If you shave your mustache,
Don't.
cancel the
Can't.
contract.
Yep.
Yeah, it gets
It's in there,
halved.
actually.
It
The
should
mustache
be.
clause.
If
Gets
Ken
halved.
Holland has any sense about him, which
It's a
he
no
does,
clause.
What? Just say the contract.
3 years,
bu-
2.6 mil.
Yep.
mustache guaranteed.
Feels like a deal right now when he's like our starting goalie, and our starting
It
goalie
brings down
is
your
making
dollar cost
$5.
average of like $7 million for both goalies. Isn't that bad?
Yeah, 7.6. It's all good.
Campbell doesn't have as much pressure on him now. I don't think you have a 1A, 1B
No,
situation.
anything like, well, yeah, and that price tag on him, he's no target. No target.
And if you got to pay him a ton of money in 3 years, it's because
He earned it.
He earned it and was a legit number one for 3 straight seasons
They
for
won't
you.
have
And
Campbell on the books anymore, anyways.
buy him out, yeah.
Maybe one more year.
It'd be one more year at that point, but you buy out the last year of Campbell if you need to, like,
Yeah, be fine.
if Stuart Skinner really is the guy, right? But I'm just saying that's such a great scenario.
Finally, we have a goalie that we made ourselves. Jeez Louise. Sorry, Jeff Delory.
And paying him accordingly.
Yeah, didn't Mikko Koskinen this guy and give him 4x4 for no reason?
The last goalie we developed ourselves, Chalmers, was Andy Moog, for real.
That we really
Drafted that turned into being good.
Dubnik.
He just developed elsewhere.
He
Yeah, he put
did
it
all his
together.
development elsewhere, yeah.
I saw people jumping when I tweeted about it. Someone was like, "Oh, and he's going to spend all 3 years with Dustin Schwartz as his goalie coach. Great." And I would love for those people to give me like a nice breakdown of where they think Oilers goalies have faltered. Everyone loves just shitting on Dustin Schwartz because they think it's like
'Cause
whatever.
He's at practice with Oilers goalies. He's like, you know what you should do? Let the first one in.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, it's getting their heads. Well, look who he's had to work with. Like, Mike Smith was fine.
Yeah, no one
He
gives him
actually
credit for Mike
great.
Smith.
We'll look back and be like, Mike Smith, his 2-year tender with us
3.
was 3.
I wish he could have been like what Hobby Bullen was supposed to be or what Koskinen was supposed to be. Mike Smith was the right level of success given how old he was.
He was awesome.
Yes.
Like, and he was awesome last
And he
year.
was
He was
cheap.
and he was cheap.
But he let in a blooper to start off a lot of games.
Yeah.
And he'd go for a fucking skate when there was no
his
need.
body of work, you look back at the season, you're like, we went to the Western Conference Finals.
He came out against Calgary when he was injured.
Oh,
that was one of the
legendary.
top memories.
And
Legendary.
like they were up by like 3 goals, like 7 minutes left.
No
No,
need.
he
Like,
didn't need to
here
do
he
that.
comes.
He's
back in the
almost
game.
Ring of Honor worthy just for that come
Oh,
out.
man. What a moment that was.
We always say like McDavid and Draisaitl are the next 2 guys to get their numbers retired. Like that'll happen one day. But who's the Ring of Honor crew on this Oilers
Nuge.
team? Like Nuge gets in there for commitment.
Sure, Nuge.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
that's probably
Ryan
it.
Smith.
Hyman, if he stays, yeah, Smitty's already up there.
Oh yeah, well he's number 1. Sorry, Smith.
Could be.
If they win a cup, Hyman
Like
would be
Rolls-
it.
KHL champion Nail Yakupov.
Dwayne Rolson. He was here long enough.
I don't think Rolly was here long enough to get
Stanley
Ring
Cup
of Honor.
Finals, pretty big.
Doug Waite, you could, yeah.
Cujo, Hemsky.
Yeah, Hemsky's
Hemsky.
goal.
Hemsky.
Give one to the
Hemsky's a
Jews.
lock.
UC Marketing for coming up huge in the
Comrie?
finals. Comrie.
He had a lot of points for
For
us
the second time.
when he was here.
Pat Falloon.
Patty
He had an
Falloon,
impact.
Yeah.
Ray Whitney.
Ryan Winnie.
The one that got away.
What about defensemen?
Jason Smith, probably.
Oh, definitely Jason Smith.
Part of me wants to go, maybe Darnell Nurse
Kelly
gets
Buckberger.
back in the good books one day. Right now,
How long is Darnell Nurse's contract when it kicks in next year?
400 more years. Cookson this year is his first year.
yeah, so eight
So
more years.
7
Oh, like
more
are you
years.
going back that far? Like Craig Simpson? Like, because you said, who did you just say?
Well, they just put in Lee Fogelin and Ryan Smith.
So guys that won't have their numbers retired but will be in the Ring of Honor.
Yes.
That was my
Holy
question.
shit! Like,
That's lots.
How many people do you think go on the
It's a
ring,
big
though?
ring. It's a big ring.
They'll
Lot of
eventually
room
have
to
to slow down. They'll do 2 a year for like
And they'll do
5
one.
years, and then they'll
Yeah.
knock it down to 1 a year.
go. Yeah, and they'll have to build.
I
a
don't
new
know
ring.
why I'm phasing on this, but Glenn Anderson and S. Teagan don't have their jerseys retired.
Glenn Anderson does.
No, it does. Okay.
S. Teagan would be Ring of
Ring of Honor.
Honor.
Fire.
Ring
Ring
of
of
Fire.
Fire. Yep.
Yes.
Johnny Cash. Love that.
So actually, the Oilers are bringing a Ring of Fire as well, where we burn alive players we don't like.
Garth Brooks going on the Ring of Honor.
Players we
Tom
don't
Pody.
like.
Yeah, just like Tom Bodie,
Chris Russell.
Justin Schultz.
Did we like
Dustin
Rem,
Schultz.
Did we like Rem Murray?
Ring of Fire for
Rem
the
the
goalie
gem.
coaches.
Come on.
Rem the gem?
Rem Murray.
Should we talk about the loss to the Ducks?
No.
I
Did you guys know we lost the Ducks on Saturday?
Wasn't
I don't know. I didn't
ideal.
even know that was on.
Well, that's probably
The
accurate.
Ducks,
I
when
did
you get
know
as
that was
hot
on.
as the Ducks are. Okay, wait,
Yeah,
let me
listen,
try
they-
again. When you've had as good of a season as the Ducks have had, statistically speaking, when you win that much, nope.
When you have a goalie who's just, that great and experienced. Oh,
Especially after you give away that game.
You
on
don't really
Thursday.
get a lot of shots, so you should. Wait, what?
They pumped a shit ton of shots
I
at
know.
Johnny No
I
Name.
thought we were doing the
Who
thing.
had a
I thought we were doing a thing.
His save percentage is like lower than our winning percentage. What's up? There's a joke for you, Ripcheck.
Hell yeah.
It did not look good on paper, and it looked even worse afterwards.
he had played. That was his 8th career NHL game, and he
I'm-
stopped 49 shot or whatever, 46 of 49.
If you saw how salty I was parading around my house on Saturday,
Oh.
first of all, Oilers lost. Second of all, I bet with my heart on Saturday.
Well, you should have, because that should have been point night, victory night.
I was
That's why they play
so
the
mad.
games.
These are human
I was-
beings going against human beings.
I was called
Professional
out
hockey
for
players
being grumpy
playing
after
against
that loss.
That's why they play the games, man.
Well, that I'll just chalk that one up as to a classic look ahead game. We got Anaheim. Mentality
it's such
says
a
they can't win.
Like you look, we couldn't close out a game with 18 seconds left on the power play
Are we bad in matinee games? Is that a
Yes,
thing?
At
their-
home.
Their winning
At home.
percentage is
at
terrible.
home. At home.
Overall, the winning percentage is awful. They had just won the last two. So you're like, maybe they're turning it around.
Was that
the
one against the
Rangers.
Rangers matinee? Was that here
Yeah.
at home?
No,
And
that
they
was
beat
in
the
New York.
Panthers
That
on
was
the
in New York.
road.
Yeah, we're on the road matinee savants.
Yeah, at home, not good.
But to me, it's just such a bad. Oh man.
And you
this
can tell,
blue
like,
line's broken.
So then fix it.
Darnell Nurse.
Fix it.
Like, I don't want to pile on the guy.
Fix
Like, it was amazing how quickly it went from, we love Darnell again, to, oh.
Like
We don't
in
have this
6
kind. We don't have
minutes.
the luxury to shit on Darnell Nurse for the remainder of
It's
his
not
contract.
And the
Darnell
problem
Nurse's
is if he doesn't
fault
right now
that he
he's
got
under
an $8
he's
year
under
deal
a
for
microscope
$9
right
million
now.
bucks.
If he doesn't do something to get out of it, this is when it goes bad. This is like a turning point.
It's not his fault. He's Darnell Nurse. We gave him that contract.
At least he's not Seth Jones. That's a lot of money.
It's all
Same
people
amount.
outside.
It's the same
I know,
contract.
All people outside here want to talk to me about it is like, you can't win with a guy that making that much money who does that kind of shit. Can't win with
Yeah,
him.
but you
And
can.
I'm like,
Because you made it to the Western Conference Finals with them last year. So
Yeah,
Not- not as your number one, though. Not as
we
your
had
number
a lot
one.
of other things going for us too,
I know, but the idea.
and he was hurt,
I know, so that's
so
what I'm
like,
saying.
he wasn't an impact.
People keep saying, like, oh, you can't win with Nurse as your number one D-man. And it's like, they damn near almost won it all last year with Nurse as their number one D-man, and he was playing on one leg. So, like, you can. I think the conversation's getting
We didn't
a little.
almost win it all. We
They were
lost.
Conference
were-
finals.
We got to the conference finals,
So that-
which is halfway there. We got swept. We got
It's
halfway
more than halfway there.
Well, the fact that we got swept mean we didn't really tilt it over to half. We were halfway there.
so you're saying if you didn't win the conference finals, you weren't in the conference
If we won
finals.
if we won one game, then we would just been a little bit over half.
there are 32 teams in the NHL. The Oilers are one of the final four. That's a lot closer than half.
Yeah, and we got there because of Mike Smith, Connor McDavid, and Leon Draisaitl,
Yeah,
and Zach Hyman.
and
and
the
the
blue they used Darnell Nurse was their number one defenseman.
Did they though?
Yes.
When he had his shit blown up, was he
That was
playing?
the problem,
Was
is that
he
he
playing
was-
first line minutes?
Yes, that was the issue. Is we
And we're still able to pull it off. It wasn't because he was playing so good defensively.
I know.
It was visibly so, but we're not the same team.
Because you're missing Duncan Keith
Well, that's that.
and Chris Russell.
and Chris Russell.
Chris
But what
Russell
I'm-
is missed. I don't know why everyone's just like, fuck, it's a terrible
I don't know
decor
why
this
they.
year.
I don't know why
'cause
they
his
signed
fancy
Ryan
stats suck.
Murray instead of him. I don't get it.
How did Ryan Murray? People, I thought it was mean spirited, so I didn't do it on the live show. People were like, "How did Ryan Murray get hurt?" In the chat, they're like, "Did he fall in the shower? Like, was he shoveling and he like threw out his back and was like, fuck, don't have the heated driveway like McDavid."
Yeah.
How did Ryan Murray hurt his back? Because he hasn't played in a month.
He's out for a month.
He hasn't
Doubtful.
played and he got hurt.
He hasn't played in a month, and now he's out
I
a month.
sleep funny. My back hurts though.
That is true.
Fair enough.
Yep.
But the point I'm trying to make, Jay, is people are going a little too far with the Darnell Nurse thing. He's playing like shit. I get it. And they need to make the blue line better. They need to go get another good blue liner. But all these people who are like, you have to trade Darnell Nurse for whatever you can
can't.
get for him. Well, you can't. But they're like, you have to trade him for whatever you can get for him because you can't win with him as your number one
I
D-man.
would love him on our team, but he's not. He in the terms of number one defenseman across the NHL.
Yeah.
Like, sure, he had that year in the COVID year, the shortened season where he was almost a Norris candidate. Like,
Last year in the
he
last
played off his head.
Last year in the last month and a half of the regular season, he looked like a $9 million D-man.
You know what makes me sad,
You
Chalmers?
know who's a $9 million D-man? Roman Yossi.
I would argue Roman Yossi's a $12 million D-man, if we're being honest.
Okay. Thank you for proving my point. He's a $9 million defenseman.
Yeah?
There you go.
You know what makes me sad, Chalmers?
That's where our expectations should be.
Yeah, but now you're
for $9
just
million. But it's not Darnell Nurse's fault to get paid $9 million.
So then
Call that
what
the
are you
Horkoff
getting at?
conundrum.
Why the fuck do you make him an offer for $9 million?
Well, sure, but if we're talking about the moment and this team trying to win a Stanley Cup this year, that's done. He is signed.
Of course.
You can't trade him. That's
But
stupid.
he can't. But okay. So now we have to build around him. He's still, we're stuck with him.
Yes.
So we need to improve our defense around him.
Yes, and that's we're making the same point.
Are we? Because anytime I say we should bolster our D, you saying no, the D need to play better.
They do need to play better.
But we're not. We've been saying it for 32 games. We're not going to get the same results.
Darnell Nurse is better than this. He showed us last season down the stretch.
He
He's
can
better
make a
than
bit
this.
of. Can he improve? Yes.
Evan
he
Bouchard
hasn't in 32 games yet, though.
Evan Bouchard last season was better than this.
Maybe last year was an exception for Evan Bouchard. Have you thought about that?
That's not. No, I won't believe that.
Okay. Well,
I don't buy it.
We have a 32 game sample size.
Okay, and I have a sample size from last year that proves my point.
Yeah. Okay. But I'm saying there is regression.
But if
to the
milk
mean,
was
right?
good and now it's bad, it doesn't get back to good.
No.
He's
saying
not milk. He's a human being.
Our debate is where's the mean? You're saying last season's the mean. I'm saying this season it might be the mean.
That still doesn't change the fact that he needs to play better.
So you could so use my argument. Say this season's the mean. So last year he had a really good year. He played above the mean. Now he's regressed to it.
So you don't think
So
Evan
how can he play
Bouchard?
better?
You think this is who Evan Bouchard is?
I am well documented having concerns.
I know.
I'm concerned about him defensively.
I am saying.
And what are we worried about him right now? His defensive play. Offensive upside off the charts. Let's fucking insulate him then. We're not insulating him. What
That's
are we
what he
doing?
should be doing.
We're putting him with Broberg. Like, what
Who's
the hell
also
are we
hurt.
doing?
How come that kid can't stay healthy, by the way?
Yeah, that's weird. I'm just saying, I think the pieces are here for them to have a Stanley Cup quality blue line. And
No. Oh my God.
Bouchard should
my
be on the
God.
third pairing.
You just
He
said
is.
that.
But like,
We have a Stanley Cup caliber blue line.
No.
That's what you just said.
No. You didn't let me finish. You cut me off. We have the pieces to have a Stanley Cup quality blue line. If they go out and get a real good lefty, a real good left-handed D-man, this blue line's there.
We need two pieces.
I don't like the right side either, really.
We need two pieces on the blue line.
I think that Barry and Bouchard are too similar.
Or we need Skinner to keep standing on his head, and we do one piece on the blue line, and we address our forward depth.
Yeah, I think a part of it, too, it's team defense to an extent.
So I can play with the one piece.
Yeah.
But we have to focus on the forwards.
Last year, this blue line with Darnell Nurse playing on one leg almost got the job done.
Was it a function of how good he was playing? No, we saw when he was hurt, people could still get around him. So it wasn't his impact that got us there. It was everything else around him.
Yes.
You can't say he carried us.
Okay, so that's not what I'm saying.
Well, it kind of is.
No, it's not. What I'm saying is this year, you go out and get an impact lefty, Carson Soucy type, although you're not getting him because Seattle's actually good. And you have the same blue line you had last year, more or less, because now Keith's minutes are replaced by whoever you got at the deadline, and it's a healthy Darnell Nurse. That blue line is automatically better.
He's healthy right now.
I know, and I'm saying he's going to get better. He needs to get better. That's a part of this.
Yeah, we don't have a choice. He has to get better.
Yes. But I'm saying if he is better, and if he's the Darnell Nurse we got in the last 6 weeks.
You keep pointing back to last playoffs. I'm like, he didn't do anything. He was hurt.
Last year down the stretch before he got hurt, he was playing unbelievable hockey.
Everyone was off their fucking heads down the stretch. It was a collective off the head moment.
And you don't think that can happen again?
I'm not saying it, but like, we can't just keep saying, looking at our blue, like, well, we just need Darnell Nurse to be better and everything's okay.
Everything's better if he's better.
It certainly helps,
Yeah.
but it's not the answer. We need to add more to it. Expecting like
I'm
this
with ya.
crazy leap.
Okay, so progress it. Trade deadline's March 3rd.
Yep.
Do we I know that there's teams that are going to go up and down in the standings, but I think there's kind of a small window into who we could potentially get, right? So as of right now, I know that you always say Chychrun, so let's just leave him out of this for a second. But
We don't
who?
have a choice.
If you, it's always great to have a problem, but it's even better to have a solution.
Yep.
What right now, at the very beginning, is potentially a solution?
Trade a second-round pick and Marcus Niemelainen for Vladislav Gavrikov.
Okay. And you agree with this, Jer?
I'm fine. It doesn't hurt.
Okay.
He's the best, probably pure defensive option on the market.
So there
right
is
now.
options, though, right?
There's always options. That's the whole thing.
Well, sometimes there's just not the
They
caliber.
could buck up and get Chychrun today if they wanted to, right?
And so
The
what?
price
So what
is
do
coming
you
down
think?
by the second.
If you had Ken Holland sitting right here and the other people in the room that make the decisions, what do you think is stopping them from doing this? Do they, number one, are they interested? And number two, what's stopping them?
Cap space.
Up and down like a toilet seat, really.
Yes.
What is that?
That's Ken Holland.
Oh, yeah. What does he say again?
It's been up and down like a toilet seat, really.
So
Thank you for the insight, Mr.
but
Holland.
every it's not cap space.
Yes, it is.
But are we up to the cap? Oh hell yeah. Are we into LTR? Oh fucking rights we are. But what does Tampa do? How does Tampa do it?
Jay, but if Evander Kane's going to be healthy, he's going to play.
I'm not saying it's not even me saying Kucherov him.
Okay, so what does Tampa Bay do? They find a way to make it work.
They find a way to fucking make it work.
Yeah?
If you really want it, you can go and get it.
How much of a problem is our cap in this scenario that you have painted out?
If
right
you wanted
now?
to go get Chychrun and Arizona goes, Kate, 2 firsts and Broberg, and Colin says, all right, sounds good to me. Here you go. Now you have him. And when Kane's healthy, you're over the cap. You're screwed. You got to trade someone for pennies on the dollar or put like 3 guys on waivers. So how do you make that money work right now? Okay, maybe you trade Puljujarvi and bite the bullet and you got to throw in a 4th round pick so someone takes his full salary right now. Okay, now you've lost another one of your bullets that you can use at the deadline in a 4th round pick. And you've lost Puljujarvi out of your lineup. You got to replace him because he is a guy who's giving you top 9 minutes right now. And or you trade Tyson Barrie. But then what's your blue line look like? All of a sudden now, Evan Bouchard's got to play top 4 minutes, black hole on the 3rd pairing right side because you've traded away Barrie to make the money work to fill the left side of your blue line. But all you've really done is just shifted the problem to the right side of your blue line. Still not a good enough blue line. The cap is hurting them right now, and they have to, unfortunately, wait until closer to the deadline when teams are open to third-party brokerage and all that.
I agree we should probably wait a little bit, but like something needs to happen.
So what is their easiest way right now? Let's just say they were a household and they realized that their monthly income was not going to support their monthly nut. What is the easiest thing they could do right now to make room so that they have more freedom closer to
Trade
the trade?
Puljujarvi, but you're adding an asset to trade him right now, whereas a month and a half from now, maybe that's not the case.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's tough. They're not in a great spot.
There's ways to do it, man.
Right,
You
but
can get
that's
teams,
kind
you
of
can-
what I'm asking
You
you.
can get but we've got 1st round picks, 2nd round picks. We can use these things to sell some of our salary to open up.
Because
cap
you're
space.
under the mindset that I kind of am right now. If it's not now, when is it?
Well, exactly. Like what?
Let's stop keeping this stuff in the
When
shelf.
Connor McDavid's contract's up, now's the time to try to make the move.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's the reality. We got to start doing some stuff.
It would be very frustrating to be in a room with those guys and be like, I'm just not willing. I'm just not willing to put forth that type of stuff to risk it for this year. It would be frustrating to hear them voice that. Have we heard them even approach the subject in any type of interview, in any type of...
Holland said he was open for...
I don't even know what the fucking brass of this team is thinking because I don't ever hear from them.
Do you want to hear from one again?
Yes.
Okay.
It's been up and down like a toilet seat.
Oh,
really.
okay. Well, that's enlightening.
Sounds like he's open for
Says it
business.
all, Chalmers.
They're
very-
actually, as a team, they're actually pretty close to where they were at this point last season. And from this point on last season, for the next 6 weeks, was terrible.
So it's going to get worse.
No, I actually like to think that they just won't have the slip they will last year. They'll be a more consistent team. They'll end up at 104 points again, but they'll do it by what we've seen so far this year, which is 3 good games, 2 bad games, 4 good games, 2 bad games, 4 good games, 2 bad games. Whereas last year it was like, oh my God, the first 20 games we're winning the Stanley Cup. Oh my God, the next 30 games we're going to be a lottery team. Oh my God, the next 30 games we're winning the Stanley Cup. I think it's just going to be more like they won't quite peak and valley the same way until the deadline when they get more help. I'm being more measured about this. I'm not freaking out about the loss to the Ducks.
I'm not freaking out, but no, I'm just I want to be persistent in my message because
Don't be a flip-flopper, yo.
If we don't, no, I won't flip-flop on this.
I know you won't.
Yeah, because if we don't do anything, then what's the point?
I just believe their blue line is
this is not
right
the
now.
Roster to take us to the promised land.
1 left shot D-man and 1 third line center, though.
Probably 2 bottom 6 guys. Probably what we need.
Yeah, because you're going to move out Puljujärvi, so you probably want someone to replace him. Yeah. I think the blue line needs to be better. Needs to be improved externally.
We need to be better defensively, period, as a team.
And that's the other thing, too, here. They outshot him 49-17 with McDavid and Draisaitl and Hyman on the ice at 5-on-5 last game. They got outshot. Those big guns got to be better defensively. The defenders got to be better defensively. And the thing is, because I have seen them do it down the stretch last season, they can be better. I know they all can.
The Oilers also have to get some more depth scoring because it's ridiculous now. Mm-hmm. They've got $9 million in salary for 6 goals. Not good enough.
Yamamoto looks like he might be heating up, though.
I hope so.
Yeah. I'm vibing him.
He's got a different.
We need him to.
A little bit of a mojo back, seems like.
Yep. He has scored twice in his last 5 games now. Tucked one against St. Louis. Tucked one against.
So now
Minnesota.
we can end the when you're shitting on Puljujärvi, what about Yamamoto debate? Can we
Yamamoto is scoring on average 1 goal every 10 games.
Do you think our secondary scoring and our bottom 6 get hampered by the fact that our big guns play so many minutes?
Yep.
Yeah, but it's also a function of it's
like a
that we need him
thing
to do it.
No, 100%. I wouldn't change it. I'm just try to figure the stuff out. I just try to
100%.
Because why does it
bottom
seem
6? Sure, give him more time.
how many goals does Devin Shore have this year?
Probably none.
So that's your solution, Chalmers? Play McDavid and Draisaitl less.
No.
Elevate Devin Shore.
Mine is very similar to your Chucks. It's that our bottom 6 needs to play better.
But Devin
tell him
Shore
to play better.
Yeah, Devin Shore's going 27 games without a goal. That guy could probably not play.
We could probably coach this team. Let's walk in and say, hey.
We make
play
that
better.
joke on ONR all the time.
Focus on defense.
You know that thing?
Devin Shore.
You know that thing we're paying you to do?
Out of here.
Do it better. Just
All right.
do it better.
Before we wrap up, have to give some love to AMA Travel, who partner up with us for all of our fancy nation vacations.
There's one company that probably can't do it any better because they do it great.
AMA Travel.
AMA Travel.
AMA Travel. Nation vacation, March 10th to 12th, going to Toronto. Watching a hockey game from a suite, a gondola suite in Toronto, Saturday night. McDavid.
Hockey night in Canada.
Unbelievable. All the details, nationgear.ca, as always, powered by AMA Travel, they're making this one of the more bougie nation vacations we've ever been on.
That's why it's a gold toaster.
Gold, yeah. All right.
And Vegas coming soon.
We are less than a month from Vegas. That is also exciting. I like that. All right, that's going to be a wrap on episode 438 of the Real Life Podcast. Shout out to Tourism Jasper, AMA Travel, DoorDash, and Oodle Noodle. We'll chat again on Thursday.
What?